So, you'll want to kill armored enemies, eh? Well, let's pop over here and let's talk about it. So, a lot of the time, especially at lower ranks, from what I've seen over the last week of playing this game, is that a lot of people really aren't going in with anything to combat armored enemies towards the higher end of difficulty. So we're going to talk about basically the best weapons to use. Now, I'm biased. My favorite weapon is the railgun. It is absolutely fantastic. Not only is the railgun fantastic at eliminating standard armored enemies, such as the ones that walk on all fours and then put their claws up in front of them to defend, one shot. The stalkers that go invisible, if you shoot them in the head, one shot. But it is fantastic at taking out Bile Titans. Typically, anywhere from 2 to 4 shots to the dome instantly picks off their head. When it comes to the chargers, a lot of people will go for the head. That's the wrong choice. If you want to take out a charger with the railgun, your best choice is to go after one of its front legs. You blow one of its front legs off, and it will die. I don't know why it's the only bug in the game that does that. A lot of the bugs, when you blow off one of their limbs, they'll still come charging at you. But for the most part, you blow off one of those big front mandibles, and it is gone. Now, super early on in the game, you really don't have a lot to choose from. What you do have is this: the EAT-17 expendable anti-tank rocket. This is fantastic. Not a lot of people use it because it's a one-off. You fire it one time, then you throw it away. Upside is when you call them in, you get 2. Another upside of this weapon is the fact that it has a really, really, really low cooldown, like 70 seconds, which means that you can toss one out if you know that a armored enemy is heading in your direction, and by the time you guys start engaging somewhere in the middle of the fight, it'll be ready for you to call up again. Fantastic at taking out the fat throw up bugs, fantastic at taking out the chargers, great at taking out the Bile Titans if you can hit them in the head. It is an all-around great weapon. Another really, really good weapon is the recoilless rifle. Also fantastic at taking out armored enemies if you know where you're going to be hitting them. Hitting them in the face, great option. Hitting them in the main body, it's going to take a lot of shots. This is where you're really going to have to time your shots and line up perfectly to go for the most vulnerable part of whatever it is you're trying to kill. The autocannon is good if you can hit a soft underbelly, or if you can hit a really, really soft portion of whatever it is that you're fighting. If it's a charger, shoot it in the ass with the autocannon. That's pretty solid. If it's a Bile Titan, there is a spot beneath the jaw, like somewhere between where the mouth and the neck is, that is soft, and if you can hit it there, it'll pretty much count as a kill. You'll be able to blow it up. Fantastic. And of course, the last one that you can call in is the spear. The last one you can call in for the, yeah, which ones are these called? The supply stratagems. The spear. Now, there is a issue with the spear currently. It's wonky. It is supposed to be a one-hit kill. However, sometimes it bugs out and it is not a one-hit kill. Or sometimes it bugs out and it does not want to lock on. I feel as though they're going to have to address the spear later on in a patch in order to make it work the way it's supposed to. I have seen multiple people roll up with the spear, and I've only seen one person have it work effectively. I usually see somebody complaining in the chat about the fact that it's not locking on, or it's not doing this, it's not doing that. I have it, I used it, not really a fan. I much prefer using the railgun because, as you saw in the intro clip, the railgun keeps me mobile, allows me to move around extremely well. Now, when it comes to orbital cannons, there's some trickery to it. Now, the orbital rail cannon strike is fantastic. It'll lock onto whatever the largest target is in the area and instantly kill it. Here's the problem: 210 seconds, and it only kills one. Now, if you are to pick up, I believe, one of these stratagems, it is this one. Barrage fire. No, not that one. Maybe this one? No, not that one either. Oh, that's crazy. That's actually funny. I'm learning this in real time that the barrage orbital fires that give you 1 extra per salvo does not count towards the orbital rail cannon strike, which sucks. But yeah, it's a one-off. You throw it, it'll lock onto whatever the biggest target is near where you threw it. It'll zap that target, instantly kill it. Then it's on a 210-second cooldown. That's a long while. Especially if you're in the higher difficulties where everything is absolutely chaotic. It's great for getting you out of the jam, killing a Bile Titan super quick, getting out of the way. But if another Bile Titan shows up or there are more heavies in the area, then you're going to need something else in order to take on those other heavies. When it comes to the hangar and calling in the offensive stratagems, the Eagle 500 kg bomb, fantastic. Just nuke it. Toss that Moab right beneath its feet. Blow it to Kingdom Come. The Eagle 110 rocket pods will also take out a heavy target, but you need to hit them twice. Which means that if you flub and you miss, you're not going to kill it in all of the strikes. Everything else here doesn't really do anything to heavily armored targets. Strafe Run doesn't work, Airstrike doesn't work, Cluster Bomb barely does anything because it's hitting the target from above where it has armor. Napalm Strike, they're just going to walk right out of it. Jump Pack, you can use it to get away. Smoke Screen, also use it to get away. But these last two are your best bets for taking out heavily armored targets. Now, for the defensive stratagems, there isn't really anything here. Like, there's the orbital precision strike, but unless you've upgraded your ship modules where it deploys faster, it kind of sucks because those enemies are highly mobile and they're going to move right out of the way. Now, if you're wearing a piece of armor that allows you to basically not be noticed when you throw it, then it'll be effective in killing the target. But for the most part, in the middle of a gunfight, it's not going to be as effective because it's basically locking onto wherever the signal is that you toss, the marker is that you toss. It's not tracking anything any way, shape, or form. Gas does nothing. The EMS strike will have him bamboozled for about 2 seconds. Smoke strike will get you up out of there. That's not going to tear through the armor. The shield generator is really only for the automatons. And the Tesla Tower is solid at holding down an area, but not good at killing enemies with armor. Now, when it comes to the supply stratagems, there are a few things here that kind of sort of work. The anti-personnel mines aren't going to work on Bile Titans at all. They're way too tall and their legs are heavily armored. The grenade launcher will only work at blowing up the Bile Titan's sack, but not work at blowing up the Bile Titan's armor unless somebody else has already blown a hole in the armor for you to hit with the grenade launcher. Now, it will work against chargers if you fire it directly beneath the charger. Their underbellies are soft. They don't have any armor under there. So around 4 or 5 shots from the grenade launcher beneath their legs will instantaneously kill them. Laser rifle, useless for right now. Hopefully it gets a buff one day. Incendiary mines, useless. The guard dog rover and the other rover, also useless in that regard unless you're targeting the soft ass of a charger. It's not going to help you in any way, shape, or form. Arc thrower, kind of sort of the exact same thing. Now, when you get down here to the other defensive stratagems, this is where things get a little bit interesting. So, machine gun sentry and Gatling sentry, useless. The bullets are just going to bounce right off of that heavy armor. If anything, it just pisses off the bug. The bug's going to turn around. They're going to run towards it, and they're going to instantly destroy it. The mortar sentry is interesting because, like I said, if there are pieces of the enemy's armor that have been blown off, if the mortar strike hits those areas, it will do additional damage and can sometimes kill them. The guard dog fits into the same situation as the guard dog rover. Only thing is it sucks more because it's using a regular gun, and that gun isn't going to do as much damage as the laser, but neither are strong enough to break through the armor of the enemy you're attempting to kill. Now, the autocannon. The autocannon is absolutely fantastic. As you can see in the preview, it shreds. Here is the problem. It turns super slow. And for whatever reason, when you call it in, it is always facing the opposite direction of whatever it is you needed to shoot and kill. which means that it takes a second to set up. Now, if you can set up the autocannon and lure whatever the heavy armored enemy is into a kill zone, it'll kill them. It'll take care of them before they're even able to get within range of doing damage to it in any way, shape, or form. Same thing with the rocket sentry. However, there is a distinction that needs to be made. The autocannon will always prioritize heavily armored targets. The rocket sentry, while it says it will primarily aim at larger enemies, it is wonky. Sometimes it will not aim at a larger enemy. I've seen it, instead of going after a Bio Titan, go after a regular enemy running around in front of it. So it's finicky. It says it's supposed to. I don't know if they have to change something in the code, or maybe, that was just a one-off bug. But over the 3 times that I've used it, it's let me down. And whereas the autocannon has never let me down in targeting the correct enemy. And of course, the mortar fits into the exact same area as the EMP bomb that you can call in, where it will mess up the enemy mental faculties so that they're not as aggressive, or in the case of the automatons, completely shut them down. But for me, in my opinion, the king is the railgun. Absolutely fantastic. Not only does it have hilariously a funny mode, because I think right here where the soldier dies, that's called an overcharge. So if you hold down your reload button, you can choose either a safe charge or the unsafe charge. Choose the unsafe charge, you hold the charge too long, it detonates and it kills you. However, if you hold it just long enough, you can get off a lot of those shots that you saw in the intro where I two-tapped a Bio Titan when it gets out of the ground, instantaneously dropping it. I swear by the railgun. I think the railgun is the best gun in the game. The autocannon is another one I did not touch on. It is also super solid, but it fits into the same vein as I forgot what other weapon I was talking about, where if the enemy armor is not cracked and there aren't any weaknesses showing, a lot of the times it's going to deflect off of the enemy armor, because it's not great against heavy armor, but it is great against lightly armored foes, such as the automatons when you go up against them. But yeah, if this helps you with kind of sussing out how everything works exactly in regards to what's the easiest weapon to use or to kill armored enemies, comment down below, let me know, and I will catch you in the next one.